Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about the Copperfield Tunnel. We have a lot of great pictures of it, so stay tuned. Today we're going to take a look at the Copperfield Tunnel. It was an important landmark up in Bingham. As you can see here, I had to build it on my layout. So here it is at the Copper King Mine and Railroad, the Copperfield Tunnel. And then we're going to take a look at the real thing up in Bingham. We have a lot of great pictures of that old Copperfield Tunnel up there. Today we're going to talk about the Copperfield Tunnel. So here's some pictures of that. Now here's a picture of the map of the canyon. You can see the canyon split off. To the right went up to Carfork Canyon, and that was up in Highland Boy. And then the other side went to Upper Bingham. But this was the home of the first claim that was in the whole canyon, and that was the old Jordan claim. Here's a picture of that old Jordan mine right here. Then this picture was taken in 1904, and this is the canyon going up to Upper Bingham, and to the right will be the mountain, and that will be removed and become the pit when they start the open cut mining up there. Now here's some pictures of the road going up to Upper Bingham. You see the horses going up here. You see this down at the bottom right, there's a water truck going down there on that road. Now this is the road too. This is taken after World War I, and they're celebrating. They're coming down the road, and you see the E-line bridge in the background. That was a famous landmark up in Copperfield, is that E-line bridge. Here's another picture of that E-line bridge. And then here's also another picture of it. And can you notice these little sheds right here? What they have, these little shelters. These were for when they blasted around the mine. You could get in these when you was walking up here or on horseback and get some protection from the blasting and the mining, what was going on. And now these pictures are, you can just barely see it. It's going right diagonal through the picture is the old road. It was called the Old Country Road. Here's a picture of 1926. You see if you can just barely see that road went up to Copperfield. And then this picture was taken in 1931, and you can see the mine is just moving that way. And so that was the reason they had to build the tunnel, is because the mine expansion was just coming to the east and coming this direction. So these pictures were taken in 1926, and this is Copperfield itself. It's a neat little community up there. So those are some grand looking pictures, and this first one was looking to the east, and the other one was looking to the west on the other side. Now construction started March 1937, and they started digging from both ends. Here's some pictures of where they started in the canyon down below. It's just up from the City Hall building. That was an iconic building in Bingham. You can see them just removing the buildings here and the houses. The other pictures up in Copperfield, where they're removing houses and buildings to make room for the tunnel. And we've got some great construction pictures of them building this tunnel, from both ends. Inside pictures even right here. These were taken February 8th, 1938. You see the inside of here. Now this newspaper clipping has the date on it of February 21st, 1938. And that's when it was dug through. And then there's a man standing there, and one of them is C.J. Sax, and that was Larry Sax's uncle, and he was an engineer on the project. And that's Larry Sax has a lot of these pictures. What's really neat of this tunnel, inside and outside of it. Said it was completed on December 26, 1938. The first traffic went through on February 4th, 1939. I guess they had to finish some things through there. But it wasn't dedicated until September 30th, 1939. And that was also the first day of the Galena Days celebration up in Bingham. Anyway, here's some great pictures of them celebrating. This first one is up in Copperfield, and then this is inside the tunnel. You can see all the people inside there. And just some other inside pictures of the tunnel. It was 7,000 feet in length, 16 feet wide, 18 feet high, and it cost $1,400,000 to build. It had a pedestrian walkway through it, but was higher than the road, and a really neat ventilation system. You see the big fan on top, and they actually had doors that would close on top to blow out the exhaust fumes. It was just a one-way tunnel, and it was controlled by a traffic control light right here. So the people had to wait down here. These pictures were taken down below, and cars are waiting to go through the tunnel. And then the light would change on the top, and then they'd come down the other direction. And it was also, up on top in Copperfield was also the home of the observation center for a long time. This is where all the tourists would come up through this tunnel and ride these buses and everything up through here. That's why they had that sign right here at the bottom, this way to the copper pit, because that's where the tourists would go. So we have quite a few pictures of this, and we'll have to look at these. It's kind of fun to look at these pictures of these cars waiting down below here, and colored pictures of it at a distance. And that's kind of neat. Just over time, it's just right here. And then we go back up on the other side, and you can see the buses coming through here going to the observation center, and see all the people up in there trying to get up and down this tunnel. Some great pictures. And here's a picture of it up in Copperfield. You can see the fan right there, just right of the tunnel. Now the kids that lived up in Copperfield, they used to bring little ore samples, and they'd sell them to the tourists. They'd be waiting right here, and they'd sell their little rocks to the tourists as they came up. That was kind of a fun thing. Just love looking at some of these pictures of this old tunnel up here in Copperfield. I love that little girl standing by her car right there. Some nice colored pictures of it. The tunnel went through Ohio Copper Company's property. Now this is an interesting letter. So it's dated February 26, 1937, before they started construction on the tunnel. This letter is to the stockholders approving the sale of the property to Utah Copper Company to build the tunnel for $600,000. According to the letter, Ohio Copper was for years in the rears in bond interest and in taxes. So $300,000 would free up their company from debt, and then put another $300,000 in their treasury. So that was really good for the Ohio Copper Company also. Then this picture shows the mine encroaching on Copperfield, and the little community would be devoured up by the mine soon. With the completion of the tunnel in 1939, that made room so the mine could expand to the east. Here's the E-line bridge being dismantled right here. That was taken down in the later 1940. And this is the mine in 1939. You see it's just starting to work this way now to the east. Another 1940 picture of them. A bunch of guys looking at the over mine. That's on the east side, and so they finally get to start digging to the east side. Now here's some older pictures of the Copperfield. They're in color, and they're really nice pictures of what Copperfield was like up in this little hollow up here. The tunnel was closed to the public in 1956, but it kept going for a little while when they started to dismantle the town of Copperfield. These pictures are taken July 30th, 1958, and it shows these two guys coming down, these two boys coming down Copperfield, and boy, you can just see the houses are all being torn down and everything. And here's some later pictures of 1961 when they used the tunnel just for the employees for a little while. And this is up on the top side. You can see Copperfield's all tore out. You can see it just barely the portal right there at the bottom left. And here's another picture of it. You can see it a little better. This is at the other end in Bingham, and they're finally going to bury it, and that was 1973. And so that's July 1973, and they're starting to bury this entrance of this tunnel up, make room for the 6190 yard. So that was the end of the Copperfield Tunnel.